I'm excited to welcome back a weekly guest as we continue throughout this NFL season, SZN season. Jake, as always, welcome back.
It's a pleasure to be here. I assume you have me on for one reason.
Yeah, to talk Vikings football.
Oh, no. So we didn't win People's Sexiest Podcast Host.
What?
Did you see who did?
Was it the Kelce Brothers?
The Kelce Brothers did win People's Sexiest Podcast Hosts.
Well, this is ridiculous. Well,
I assume we had one, is what I thought you were going to... I thought that's why you were bringing me on. And we know it wasn't Tony. We know Tony...
What?
NBA Tony didn't, no. So I thought it was us.
Yeah. I love how you called NBA Tony out. Maybe we need to come together and have a little three-way podcast discussion.
That'd be great.
Yeah, about everything sports. That would be fun.
I haven't talked to him since your wedding.
It is ridiculous. Do you think that the only reason why they won Sexiest Podcast Host is because of Travis's relationship with Taylor Swift?
1,000%, yeah.
Yeah.
Think about how many thousands and thousands of podcasts there are. Mm-hmm. There's got to be two better looking people. I'm just saying. And not that they're suave men, right? They take care of themselves, but I don't know. I just thought we'd be in the running at least. At least get like, hey, thanks, you got fifth, or something. But nothing.
Mm-hmm. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce, they've got the NFL knowledge, right? Mm-hmm. They're former players. They've got it's not even necessarily an attractive contest, more so than it is a popularity contest. So whoever is voting for this award, they're voting on the wrong reasons. Because I could go upstairs and ask my wife, who is an unbiased opinion, and say, who's sexier, me or Travis Kelce? And she'll say me for sure. So I don't know. Maybe it's Maybe it's Taylor Swift voting for this award. Who's pulling the strings behind the scenes?
I don't know.
To make something like this happen?
I think Holly might say Travis, so maybe it is the right award. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, thank you for bringing that up, because now we need to explore who's voting for this.
Yes.
If it's a mail-in, is it a mail-in, and there's absentee voting, and maybe the people that aren't even allowed to vote are voting for this award?
We need to turn our sights to 2025's Sexiest Podcast Host Award is what we need to do. We need to start making decisions now that'll lead to that award in the future.
Well, I feel like I'm looking decent this morning. Typically, I just go down and I do got the sweatpants on. So maybe that's my problem. Maybe I need to up my ante a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't really do my hair this morning. Beard's getting a little long. I haven't trimmed it in a few weeks, so it's getting kind of fluffy.
We're going with that country look, right? That kind of
rugged. We're rugged.
Rugged. Yeah, rugged and tough. We were born in the sticks.
When I think rugged and tough, I think Minnesota Tim and Jake. That's
right. Exactly. That's what we're doing. We were born in the sticks. My mom gave birth next to deer and bears and raccoons and snakes. So we were born in the woods. Here's a question for you. If you had to, pick a place to live, would you rather live in downtown Manhattan in New York City? Is Manhattan and New York City two different things, or is Manhattan a suburb in New York City? Yeah, okay. So New York City has its own suburb?
Well, New York City is so big. It's the boroughs, right? That's like Brooklyn and I can't even think of the other ones right now. Soho, I think. And
Manhattan.
There's like 6 of them or something.
Okay, wow. Anyways, so if you had to choose between living in the middle of nowhere, literally. Like you're in the sticks 5 miles in, and there's no one near you or anywhere close. Private oasis. There's a little pond there, so you can go fishing if you want. Or downtown Manhattan. Which place would you choose to live?
I would, middle of nowhere.
Middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Even though it takes 5 mile walk to get to your car.
Wait,
and then
so
you have to.
I have to park my car and then walk 5 miles to my house.
Well, there's no roadway. You're in the middle of the sticks.
All right. 5 miles. I would probably put a bike out at least so I could bike.
Oh, there you go. That bike would work.
Or
Pave your own path.
Yeah, just at least have a little path so I can bike back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting experiment. I've seen stuff like that posted online before. But anyways, do you know that the Vikings...
Busy people. We like low key. We like low key.
Yeah, we're
chill.
Chill.
You're a cities person now that you live in the metro, so I don't know. Maybe you would say Manhattan. I'm not sure.
Well, I do live 25 minutes away from the cities. Takes me 32 minutes to get to the Wild game. Or at least home, I should say home. Takes longer than that to get there because of bumper-to-bumper traffic.
Yep.
But the Vikings are 5-2.
Oh, yeah.
They lost to the Los Angeles Rams and have a big game Sunday night against the Indianapolis Colts. What's your reaction to this? We kind of warned Minnesota Vikings fans, and we said this is going to happen. And here we are, 5-2. Would have been last place in the NFC North if number 29 from the Chicago Bears, whoever that is, was paying attention and guarding his player and didn't bat the ball right to his own player that he was supposed to be guarding.
Yeah.
So, give it to me.
We'll dial up the excuse computer a little bit, but we talked about these things, right? One, a Thursday night game, not easy.
Not easy.
On the road, Thursday night on the road.
Following a game against the Lions.
I'd say following a game against what you could say is the best team in the NFL besides maybe the Chiefs. So that's tough.
Right.
You're Sean McVay. It's never going to be easy to play a Sean McVay team. And especially with that rivalry, right? He's going to, they all kind of know, but he knows what Kevin O'Connell's doing and all that, right? They come from the same system. Cooper Kupp coming back was huge, and then what we obviously had no idea was the Puka Nacua.
Right. What a secret that was.
Yeah. That seems kind of mysterious how he all of a sudden was, he's good to go now.
Right. Cautiously optimistic that he's going to play.
Yeah. So with those two, their offense goes from, Matt Stafford and a whole bunch of nobodies. No offense to Tyler Johnson, go for a lump. to
Super Bowl champion.
Right. True, yeah. Super Bowl with the Bucs, right?
Yeah, with the Bucs. Yeah.
But then all of a sudden Cooper Kupp and Puka, that's two of the top, whatever you might want to say, but top 10 or 15 receivers in the league, right? So now all of a sudden it's a big deal. So offense was good. The biggest concern was defensively, right? We couldn't slow them down a little bit.
Right. I didn't realize how valuable Blake Cashman was to this defensive squad because without him in 2 games, it looked atrocious.
Yeah. And we've heard a lot about the pressures that we're not really generating pressure from the inside. We're not really generating our blitzes aren't really getting home the last 2 weeks. The 5-6 man kind of blitzes. We're leaving our corners out to, hanging out to dry. So they got to fix that. Got to work on that. Disappointing. Our guy has only been out there. I think he played 15 snaps the last 2 games combined. Dallas Turner, I think it is. Which is kind of disappointing. You'd hope he'd be a little further along. I don't think they like his coverage skills out of that 3-4. Compared to Grenard or Van Ginkel's obviously a savant at covering and blitzing, so he needs to be out there. And obviously Grenard's your big money guy, but so it was, disappointing. I don't know, not really.
Yeah.
We kind of.
I don't think you and I get disappointed by Vikings losses. That we're fans of the Minnesota Vikings, and we can get disappointed by losses, but our days are not going to be shattered because the Vikings lost.
No, and we can be disappointed in their performance, but we're not going to be personally affected. The last time I swore it would never happen to me was That Seahawks kick was the last time.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the Seahawks. I was watching in my dorm room, and I saw the kick, and I kicked my door. Just
wow, I'm surprised that you did that.
It wasn't my door, so what do I care?
Somebody else's door.
And no one was no one was in our apartment, or it was like a 6-man dorm or whatever. And I kicked the door, and it kind of hurt because I kicked it pretty hard, and I was like, well. Mm-hmm. I probably should never let that happen again. So
I think the last time was Brett Favre's pick in 2009. Because the Blair Walsh kick.
The funny part about age, I was in like 7th grade, or that would have been, or 8th grade, and I just didn't process. Like I just remember because we were at the Fails house, and then once they lost, we just went outside and played football, and like it was like.
By the way, Caleb, where's our sponsorship through the painting company? Come on,
still lacking.
It's ridiculous.
So, no, I mean, if the Rams made the playoffs, would you be surprised?
No.
No.
Especially in their division. Everyone's 4-4 except for them. They're 3-4.
Yeah. So, that's would you like to see him play a little better? Yeah. Hopefully Sam Darnold's head, right? Did you see the ref thing? That was unfortunate, right? Sam Darnold's head getting twisted, but.
Right.
I don't know.
To me, it's a terrible missed call, obviously.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of fun Halloween jokes out there with like a blind referee and Sam Darnold getting his face mask twisted. But that play is on Sam Darnold as it is on the referees, if not more on Sam Darnold, in my opinion, because he was holding the ball forever in the backfield. Yep. And he's standing in his own end zone. And that's just not something that you can do when you're down by 8 and you need a touchdown. You can't do that at any point during the game. When you're standing in your own end zone, you need to get rid of the ball quicker than you typically would. And he was sitting back there in the pocket for a long time without starting left tackle Christian Darrisaw. So even without him, you need to recognize what the situation is. You're staying in your own end zone. You need to get rid of the ball. And obviously, it was a terrible missed call. Yep. But the only reason why we're in that situation to begin with was Sam Darnold holding on to the football too long.
Yep. And it's a bummer, right? You hate to see a game end because of a missed call, and it's not often that it directly happens like that.
Right.
People are, well, is he really gonna drive 90 whatever yards? Like, well,
totally.
I saw somebody tweet out when he was with the Jets, he did have one game-winning drive that started at his own 5-yard line or something like that. So, is it possible? Yeah, it's 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line at that point. It's possible. You'd like to at least have the opportunity. Definitely a bummer. It's always surprising with, how much replay assist and all this stuff that we have. Like, what is there any less clarity than what is, hey, we can look at this, but we can't look at this. We can look at it during this time, but not during this time. I don't know. So
I think they're going to be way more weary of what they can look at and changing the rules for certain situations because a year or two ago they made defensive pass interference and offensive pass interference a reviewable play. Yeah. And that was stupid to begin with because that is such a judgment call. Right. And when you slow it down to instant replay, there's going to be fighting and jabbing on every single play.
Right.
It's like what is and what isn't.
Holding, holding.
Right. There's there's too much opinion involved in that. Whereas a face mask, there really shouldn't be opinion involved in that situation.
It either happened or it didn't. Yeah.
Right. So that is, I would guess, more of a reviewable situation. But every time there's a face mask and it's missed, do you really want to have it go to replay all the time? Right. The games are ready to take forever.
Yeah, and you don't want to see. I would rather have missed calls and have a smooth game because reffing is still a very hard job. They get plenty of calls correct, and it's human error. I like that. I like that we have human beings that we're paying to do this and all that stuff.
Totally.
I'd rather have that than have it be automated where every call is perfect. It's same with umps. It's I don't care. The human error is part of it.
Right.
Part of the fun is the next day we can talk about how bad the ref was or, that ref's, pass interference. That was lucky.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah. People's Halloween costumes were inspired by the refs.
Right, exactly. I did learn something new on Sunday Night Football. I don't know. Speaking of refs, did you? Or maybe it was Monday Night Football. Oh, it was Monday night. I didn't know
the Steelers-Giants game?
Yeah, I didn't know that putting one foot down twice did not count. You know what I mean? Did you see that Pickens catch?
The Pickens catch? Yeah. You didn't realize that didn't count?
No, because he got his left foot down twice. Like, so you think it's like
2 feet?
Right. It's 2 feet. Like, could I not, if I caught the ball and hopped down the field with 1 foot, but then I stepped out of bounds, it would be incomplete? I don't know. Just interesting.
That's an interesting thought. Well, because it was the same foot.
You tap your same foot for it to count as possession. Because what if the one guy has your right give and you're just hopping down? I don't know.
Well, maybe that should be the new defensive tactic.
Yeah.
Right? The wide receiver catches it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. give him a piggyback right out of bounds.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's not a catch, not 2 feet.
But if you get your elbow down, butt crack down.
Even your shin down. Yeah.
Shin down. I think leg counts as 2 feet or something like that. So, but yeah, 2 feet, same foot doesn't count. That was an interesting play. Like, how does he not get that foot down? I saw someone post the video. Someone said something like, this is a non-catch that looks like a catch.
Right.
Well, something like that.
The catching rule too. When they review every catch, it's like, well, the ball when they hit the ground, you see how it turned about 3 degrees.
Totally. Right. Yeah. Exactly.
It's like you should just show a random person who's not a fan of football and just say, "All right,
was it a catch or was it not a catch?
Did they catch it?"
Right.
Yeah. You got it. All right.
It looks like a catch to me. Right. Yeah. It's overcomplicated some of these things. Yeah. Anyway. But his foot was underneath the ball. The ball hit the ground, but the ball didn't move.
Right.
It's a catch. It's a catch.
His hand shifted, and then the ball twisted. Just like you see how it moved an inch. So like the ground caused a fumble. Yeah.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Do you think the Vikings bounce back on Sunday night? Joe Flacco.
I'd say I'm nervous now. They went from
right. Yeah. Joe Flacco's way better than Anthony Richardson.
Yeah. Guess who has a lower QBR on the season? Bryce Young or Anthony Richardson?
Oh, man. I would guess Bryce Young.
You would guess wrong. Anthony Richardson.
Really? Anthony Richardson.
It's close. I don't remember. It was like Bryce Young was like 57 or something like that. And then Richardson was like 56 or 55. But yeah, that's the level of play we're talking about. I think at one point Richardson was like 3 for like 17 last game. Yeah. I don't remember what he finished. He threw a touchdown later and whatever. It got a little better, but.
It's so sad because for him, people are so excited about his rookie year, the things he was doing, but his completion percentage in college was terrible. He was like 50-something percent.
He is exactly what he was in college, which was an athlete who runs and then is a struggle to make any kind of NFL-type passing, right? He throws those college passes that when guys break open and whatever, but he's hasn't been a NFL quarterback style passer. So no, honestly, Flacco makes them more competitive. That's worse for the Vikings. I don't know. He's a statue. So this will be.
But they do have a good offensive line.
They do, but it's not to me. It'll be a real test. Can we actually generate some pressure? Because Flacco's not going to avoid any of it. He's
but he'll also
there.
Chuck it more than any other quarterback. Like he's going to take a risks throughout this game, and I mean that's why he's really a remarkable story. From the Ravens, he played for the Broncos a year, then to the Jets for 3 years. NFL career's over. Browns bring him in, takes them to the playoffs. Colts bring him in, bench Anthony Richardson for him, and their offense looks competent with Joe Flacco. So, and the DraftKings Sportsbook, the Vikings were originally -7 to win. They substitute Joe Flacco in. Now the Vikings are -5. It's a big 2-point difference.
Yeah, and honestly, I wouldn't even put us at 5 if I was. I think the Vikings are the better team.
Right.
But and we're home, which obviously is a big deal. But I don't. 5 points is still a lot for Colts, who they're not bad.
Right.
What are they, 4-4 or something like that?
They're 4-4.
Yeah. So I don't know. That makes me nervous. It's a nerve. Like after this, it gets a smidge easier. But this is kind of a nerve-wracking game a little bit.
Especially after the loss against the Rams, and
right,
we're just spiraling right now. After a 2-game losing streak, you gotta respond.
Yeah, gotta respond.
The Minnesota Vikings put up a basketball hoop in their practice facility.
I just saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I pulled the video to watch. Let's just watch this video. Man, they got blocked by the rim every single time. But I applaud the effort. How hard do you think it is to dunk with pads on?
I mean, it can't be easy. It's hard to dunk without pads on for most of us.
It's true. Right.
And I guess a lot of those guys are probably 6'4", 6'5", but they're 6'4", 6'5", and
300 pounds.
300 pounds, so.
Right. I wonder if that hoop is exactly 10 feet.
Yeah, I wonder if it was. That looked like a high school basketball practice that I've been at where, hey, you want to see me dunk? And then every single kid, just slams it off the rim. It's like, yeah, you're about a foot away from dunking still, man.
I think that it looked like a lot of backup linemen trying to attempt that. It looked like some practice squad players. I didn't see any starters trying to complete that.
And a few of them, if they did take off their pads and really, tried, they were close enough that they could have. Yeah, I don't know if it was truly 10 feet or not, but a few of them got up there. They just, take off your shoulder pads and practice jumping a little bit. They'd be able to dunk, I bet.
For sure.
It is sneaky how athletic you can be at 300 pounds. I feel like we kind of underestimate that, how big they truly are.
Totally.
And then how, quick their feet still are, how they can still jump explosively. You see retired linemen, all of a sudden they lose the extra, 80 pounds that they didn't need, that they had because they were linemen. All of a sudden they are, they got chiseled muscles, and they just are freak athletes. It's like, yeah, you forget how you think they're just big, right? And that's all they are. It's like they are special.
Right.
Obviously. It's
true.
Just we forget about it, I think.
Right. You forget about just how big and quick and agile they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see the Dwayne Wade statue? What were your thoughts on the Dwayne Wade statue? How would you categorize that? Would that be a statue that would win sexiest statues?
No. You know who it looked like? I think you'll get this reference. I have no idea what the guy's name is, but from Rocky.
Oh yeah. The trainer.
Rocky? The trainer guy was like, "Throw the damn towel!" Screaming during was that Rocky 4 when they?
It was Rocky
when they kill
4.
Apollo. And he's screaming at him.
Yeah, someone posted a picture of it right here.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, that was my first thought. Just how. First of all, you show that to anybody, even I showed it. You can show it to anybody. I showed it to Holly, and she's like, "I have no idea who that is." Yeah, no one does.
It's one of the worst statues ever.
Yeah, it's literally one of the worst. How many people had to approve that?
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? How many sign-offs? How many different people looked at that and went, "Yeah, this will be good." And I don't even know. This is a stupid 2024 question. How is a statue made? Is that a machine? Is that 3D print? I can't imagine that was 3D printed, because I've seen 3D prints that are better. Obviously you can't 3D print a metal. I don't. My point is, did somebody make that by hand?
Right.
Did someone sit there chiseling the way they did, 1,000 years ago? I don't know.
It's a good question.
How was that made, and how did it get approved? That's my question.
Well, I just Googled how is a statue made, and the AI overview that comes up is sculptures use a variety of techniques to create statues, including carving, modeling, casting, and assembling. So it sounds like the 1910s way of making a statue.
Okay.
Basically is what they say.
Metal, I don't know. I just can't imagine. And like even he looked around, I was like, hey, who's that guy? Like,
yeah,
it's bad. It's one of the worst ones. And you've seen successful statues. I mean, they exist. I thought Scottie Pippen posted a picture of him with his statue, and it looked like Scottie Pippen. But I don't know if you.
Joe Mauer has a better statue than that.
Right, Joe Mauer's is fine. I will say, you see in like the NFL, like when they get inducted in the NFL, like they're they have their bust in the top half or whatever. Yeah. Sometimes those are pretty funky looking too. Mm-hmm. They get the facial expression. Yeah, that's a tough facial expression to get into a statue.
Yeah.
It also just makes him look angry, which I don't know if I'd want my statue to look like I'm yelling.
Just looks like he's taking a big, massive dump, and he's trying to force that out. He's a little backed up, and he's struggling with
maybe.
Getting that thing out of there. Yeah, constipated.
Yeah,
it looks a little constipated in that one.
No, I almost cried laughing. I saw somebody edit the famous LeBron dunk where Wade's running with his arms out.
Yeah,
and it was the statue head was on Dwayne Wade.
I'll share the screen for you. I said is a reply to that video or that picture that I first showed you right there.
That's what the internet sometimes is just a cesspool of annoying people and just people that you can't believe are real and arguing and bickering. And then sometimes the internet is just glorious. And the Dwayne Wade statue was a moment where I was like, I'm glad the internet exists because this is entertainment.
Totally. The internet has good memes.
Yeah.
If you want to get into a sports debate or a sports opinion and you want to share that online, and you somehow mistakenly say the Lions record off by one game, then you're going to get 15 fans in your comment feed saying, they're 4-1, not 3-1. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. The other one, so we did our KOC bit, like where.
Oh, yes.
That one
wow, they hated that one.
And I don't get it because maybe I'm just completely out of touch. But I thought, my point was just saying, one, they don't post a video, but I would actually like to see what he says to the team because it probably is. It probably still is motivational and still is very, because that's who he is, right?
Right.
I would imagine his speeches are still very intense and motivational. And it was just the bit of he always has such a high level of whatever, his class would be so good that he would just compliment the other team as well, as part of it, well, they deserve it this time. It was just a harmless bit, and people, but you look at all the comments, and it's people who are,
oh man,
their week was ruined because the Vikings lost to the Lions. It's well, that's never going to be us, I guess, but
right. I'm trying to find it. I can't find it right now, but
what people get fired up about always surprises me.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were
after the Lions game.
We weren't ripping KOC. We weren't saying he's a bad coach. We weren't saying he gives bad speeches. It was just simply, they don't post it after a loss. One, it'd be interesting to actually see it, and two, it'd be funny if he complimented the Lions instead of the Vikings.
Yeah. Let's take a look at. I found it. Let's look at these comments. Look at these comments that people shared. These two definitely voted for Biden. You guys are morons. Look at the stat totals of both teams. It doesn't get even more even than that. This knucklehead shows.
Which we talked about the whole time. We said it's an even game.
Yeah, but I take one clip and I don't watch the full episode.
I know.
This knucklehead shows that he doesn't know jack with a comment. Losing to a team like the Detroit Lions. Gee, they're only the defending division champions that were halfway from the Super Bowl. SMDH. And
which
STFU.
Agreed.
Idiot.
Yeah, we can't share that one. Yeah.
This is stupid. Why do Packers fans spend so much time talking about the Vikings? Nerds. Mock all you want. You want to crown the beloved Lions now? Go for it. Dumbest thing I've ever seen. Wow, you two are dumbasses. You suck. Move out of mom's basement and shut the H up. Fat cats get slaughtered. What's his?
Yeah.
I don't get that one.
Well, I think he was saying the Vikings were kind of, since we were undefeated, they kind of weren't ready. Because you a fat cat usually is like a lazy, you're not ready.
Mm.
So that one might have been in our defense, saying hey, the Vikings got beat. Although again, we weren't ripping the Vikings at all, or
right?
Certainly weren't trying to.
And then this one might be my favorite. Wonder if Tim's mom knows he's in the basement wasting electricity. And WTF is the deal with the headphones? Tell me you don't know anything without telling me you don't know anything.
Yeah. It's bizarre when people decide to comment too.
It's super funny. I love the mom's basement ones because besides summers during college or whatever, I haven't lived at my parents' house since high school.
Right. Yeah.
So it's funny how it's funny
what they internet disc. Yeah.
Yeah. But anything else that you wanted to share?
No, it just makes me chuckle. I'm sure we'll get some sort of. Did we say anything somewhat controversial today? I don't know. Maybe people actually like the Dwayne Wade statue. Now we're going to get ripped by the art community is going to come after us.
Well, our sexiest podcast host.
Oh yeah, that'll get If you, I don't. Can you not maybe put that one in the mini reel? Because otherwise, all the comments are like, "Man, these two ugly people are talking about why they didn't."
Totally. Yeah, it's probably true, but it drives listens.
That's true. I don't care. I don't get offended by much, so I'm good.
Okay. Well, that's good.
I just was chuckling when I saw that video. I was like, "Why are people so fired up about this?" I thought it was a funny bit.
It's funny.
I don't know why. It's a funny bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, it's got 13,000 views on that reel.
Right.
So
yeah, negativity drives. Even though again, we weren't even really being negative.
No, we were just having fun.
Yeah.
It's not like we were saying that KOC is a bad coach.
No, we've talked about it plenty of times. I hope KOC is here for the next 10 years. Clearly, he is a great coach.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I hope they don't let him walk.
But then you see that one bad play call he had at that one point during that one game.
Yep.
Yep.
Hindsight is always 20/20, right? No matter what you do, they could always do something else.
Yep. But Jake, thank you as always for your time, for your wisdom, for your intelligence, for your smarts, and for your sexiness.
I think we should have won the award. So 2025, Minnesota Tim, maybe NBA Tony, sexiest podcast host.
Well, I'd vote for you. Maybe you and Tony should host a podcast together on the Minnesota Tim show, and then
submit that one as
submit that one. Yep. Yeah. Maybe I'm holding us back. That might be our problem.
Minnesota Tim podcast without Minnesota Tim, featuring Jake and Tony. All right.
That'd be a fun conversation. I would tune in for that.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see where it goes.
NBA would be about all we got. I guess we can talk about it too. We can talk about it.
Yeah, he's a big Eagles guy.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you listen to Tony and I's podcast the other day?
I did not yet, no. Now I'm in school and coaching and stuff. I don't listen as much.
Football's still going on.
Well, I'm helping with varsity, so yeah, we play tomorrow.
Yeah, the defensive coordinator. Getting eyes on top.
Yeah, the booth guy. Yeah, section final tomorrow, so we'll see.
Ooh, big game. You guys. Ooh. They still have that running back that can run for touchdowns over and over and over again?
No, that guy's at Montana State. I always forget.
Okay.
But they're still good. Obviously, they're top 10 team, so we'll see what happens. We lost the first time, but we had some turnovers and some mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
We had chances, so
now it's playoff time.
Everything's heightened. Everything, can't hold anything back now, right?
Yeah. Everything's under the microscope.
Yep.
But it'll be a fun game. We'll be rooting for you. Litchfield Dragons, Daskell Cato, section finals. That's to get to state.
Yep.
Wow. U.S. Bank Stadium.
Well, the first round or two, I don't remember. For sure the first round is at like neutral site.
Sure.
It's like in a St. Cloud or Southwest.
Yeah, I guess I remember when the Royals made it to state and they're at that neutral site. Yeah, and then they went to the bank for like the semis.
Second round might be U.S. Bank, but that part I don't remember for sure.
Sure.
Or if it's just that final week.
Well, I hope you guys make it to state and then the cameras show you in the booth. There's 8th grade football coach Jacob who's lending his expertise on the defensive side of the ball.
That would be kind of fun. I wonder if we'd literally be like where. I don't know how that works. I have no idea for like the high school games. Like, would we literally be where like the Vikings headset people sit? You know what I mean?
You got the call sheet. You got the call sheet over your mouth.
Yeah, I got it covered. Yeah.
we got 2 high safeties back.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
It'd be fun. There's Stewartville is a team that's in our class, and they've given up like something like 6 or 12 total points in the season. And they've scored like 1 million. So yeah, if they don't win, it'll be surprising. But hey, just to make it, that's what's, just keep winning and having fun. So
that's why you play the game.
Why you play the game.
Yeah.
Any given Friday.
There you go.
There we go.
All right, everyone. Thank you for making this podcast every day. Jacob, as always, thank you.
Thank you, friend.